Hello, so good morning. Today I will be showing you how to use Google Forms as an instructional material. So to start, let me give a quick background. Google Forms is a survey administrative tool that can be used to facilitate events or to conduct quick question polls. So this is part of the Google Docs suite made by Google. So it has a lot of purposes, but for today I'm going to show you how we can utilize Google Forms for making instructional materials. So let's start by clicking on the Google Apps button, which will display all the apps available by Google services. Then we can click on Forms, and with just one click it will easily direct us to the interface of the Google Forms. So here we can see that the bottom section, the lower section, shows us the recent forms that we have accessed or created. So we can arrange them according to those forms which are owned by anyone and those forms which are owned by me, for example. So these are the forms that I have personally created, and those forms which are not owned by me but somehow I got the access over them. So when making a form, we will use the upper section, which shows the different templates we can choose from. But for today, let's start with a blank canvas. So now we are directed to the interface of the Google Forms. So this is the new Google Forms. So this is it's a lot different from the older version, but one thing I like the most about this version is that when we hover over the symbols, it will actually tell us what those icons or symbols are about. So this palette is for customizing theme. This is for preview. This is for settings, and then in the lower right section, we have the buttons for adding questions, importing questions, adding titles and description, adding images, videos, and sections. So let's start first by naming our form. So let's say that I am a teacher who wants to utilize Google Forms as an asynchronous instructional material. So here I'm going to, and let's say that I'm going to use it as an instructional material about the renowned Western philosophers. So I'm going to name this Great Western Philosophers. There. And notice how the title is automatically changed in our form. So we can add our description here. Let's say that this is an asynchronous instructional material. So maybe we would like to start first. So what are the details that we would like to ask our students before the main topic or discussion? So let's say we want to ask them their name. So let's click on this section and then say name. So notice how this drop down button lists down all the possible questions and answers that we can get from our respondents, but then it automatically changes the the but then it automatically changes according to the question that we have typed here. So for a name, since it's just a name, Google Forms automatically recognizes that it only requires a short answer. So we can click this button to say if we want this question to be required, meaning to say the students cannot submit this cannot submit this Google form if we happen to have a blah 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 blah. This means, and I think that ends my presentation. Thank you and good luck.